Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is July 21st, 2022, and we are in the New Testament. We are in the book of Matthew. We are going to read chapter 27, verse 27 to 66 today. So we are in Friday morning going into the afternoon, Good Friday. It's also called Preparation Day, the day before the Sabbath day, the day that Jesus is crucified. So he's been flogged by the Roman soldiers. That they've beat him, they've mocked him, they've humiliated him, they've dragged him as close to death as they can get him, and then just step back just a little bit because they don't want him to die quite yet. They have much more awful stuff in store for him. They're going to take him out. They put the beam on his back. Kind of have the picture of a big cross, but it was just the beam that the prisoners carry. The long piece is already in the ground waiting for him to get there. They grab this Simon. All four Gospels agree that he has to end up finishing carrying it, which tells you how close to death that Jesus was. He's mocked, he's ridiculed as he's up there, and they're all yelling at him, hey, if you can save yourself, save yourself. And we know back when he was arrested that he said, hey, you know what, I can call angels and come and save me at any time I want to. But if that happens, we don't have the atoning sacrifice. So he voluntarily goes to his death. We see him call out to Jesus, or Jesus called to God, why did you forsake me? Now, it kind of looks like God might have rejected him as well and abandoned him just like everybody else has at that point. That's not true. God is just kind of stepping back, waiting to see, you going to save yourself and undo everything, or are you going to go through and die and trust that you're going to be resurrected and that there's greater things in store? Thankfully for all of us, that's the option Jesus took. He's buried. He's placed in his tomb. The next day, which would have been the early morning of the Sabbath, right before they can't do any work, they realize, oh, hey, you know what? Maybe his disciples are going to come and steal his body, so we need to make sure that doesn't happen. So the Pharisees and the Sadducees get Pilate to give them a seal and a group of soldiers. And they go to the tomb. Presumably, they check and make sure that, yes, there's still a dead Jesus in there, and then they seal it up. So there can be no doubt that Jesus was dead in his tomb before he rose, and it was empty. So let's go ahead and we're going to read chapter 27, verse 27 to 66. Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the governor's headquarters, and they gathered the whole battalion before him, and they stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, and twisting together a crown of thorns, they put it on his head and put it in a reed in his right hand, and kneeling before him, they mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews! And they spit on him, and took the reed and struck him on the head. And when they had mocked him, they stripped him of the robe, and put his own clothes on him, and led him away to be crucified. As they went out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. They compelled the man to carry his cross. And when they came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of a skull, they offered him wine to drink, mixed with gall. But when he tasted it, he would not drink it. And when they had crucified him, they divided his garments among them by casting lots. Then they sat down and kept watch over him there, and over his head they put the charge against him, which read, This is Jesus, the King of the Jews. Then two robbers were crucified with him, one on the right and one on the left, and those who passed by derided him, wagging their heads and saying, You who would destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross. So also the chief priests with the scribes and elders mocked him, saying, He saved others, he cannot save himself. He is the King of Israel. Let him come down now from the cross, and we will believe in him. He trusts in God, let God deliver him now if he desires him. For he said, I am the Son of God. And the robbers who were crucified with him also reviled him in the same way. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Jesus cried out with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani. That is, my God, why have you forsaken me? Some of the bystanders hearing it said, This man is calling Elijah. And one of them at once ran and took a sponge and filled it with sour wine and put it on a reed and gave it to him to drink. But the others said, Wait, let us see whether Elijah will come to save him. And Jesus cried out again with a loud voice and yielded up his spirit. And behold, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth shook and the rocks were split. The tombs also were opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised, and coming out of the tombs after his resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many. When the centurion and those who were with him, keeping watch over Jesus, saw the earthquake and what took place, they were filled with awe and said, Truly, this was the Son of God. There were also many women there looking on from a distance who had followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering to him, among whom were Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of the sons of Zebedee. When it was evening, there came a rich man from Arimathea named Joseph, who also was a disciple of Jesus. He went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus. Then Pilate ordered it to be given to him, and Joseph took the body, wrapped it in a clean linen shroud, and laid it in his own new tomb which he had cut in the rock. And he rolled a great stone in the entrance of the tomb and went away. Mary Magdalene and the other Mary were there, sitting opposite the tomb. The next day, that is, after the day of preparation, the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered before Pilate and said, "Sir, we remember how that impostor said while he was still alive, 'After 3 days I will rise.' Therefore order the tomb to be made secure until the third day, lest his disciples go and steal him away and tell the people, 'He had risen from the dead,' and the last fraud will be worse than the first." Pilate said to them, "You have a guard of soldiers. Go, make it as secure as you can." So they went and made the tomb secure by sealing the stone and setting a guard. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.